Great to be with you again, and we are exploring the parable, the story of Jesus, of the workers in the vineyard. You might like to look it up and have it beside you. It's Matthew chapter 20, beginning at verse 1. Some years ago, when I was living in Amman in Jordan, I was driving on the road and I saw a very strange sight. There was a pickup truck driving on the other side of the road along by the pavement, and there running after it were a whole lot of foreign workers. They were actually Egyptian workers in Jordan looking for work, and the truck was driving quite slowly, a bit like a London bus in traffic, so that if you were really quick, the quickest of those Egyptian workers could jump on, but the slower ones couldn't make it. And I later realised that this is the way the employer had of choosing the fittest and the strongest to come and work for him for the day. They were being hired for the day to work probably on a building site, wherever he wanted to employ them. And when the pickup truck was full of workers, he'd drive off fast and the others would be left without work. And if you came by there an hour or two later, they would all have gone because they knew it was too late to get work. No one would hire them later in the day. Work, as it were, was finished for them. They had to come back the next day and hope for the best. Well, this was a particularly brutal and lacking in compassion. It was horrible to see these people treated with such a lack of dignity. And this is not what happens in our story. This kind of scene that I described probably has been going on in the Middle East and many parts of the world for centuries and centuries. And the story repeats something similar. There are men looking for work, and there is a landowner who has work in his vineyard. Whether it's planting or picking or whatever, we don't know. It's work in the vineyard. And he goes out first thing in the morning to hire some workers. And we're left to assume he hires the number he really needs. And they set out and they go to work for him, and he sets them a wage of a denarius. But then he goes back. And he actually goes back a number of times. Why does he go back? Did he not get enough workers the first time? That seems rather foolish, but even if he didn't, why would he go back so many times? The other strange thing in the story is the workers are still there. They haven't gone away. Normally a worker would go away knowing he couldn't get any work, like my Egyptian workers. And what is happening is the landowner, the master, is coming back each time and finding people who still want to work. They're not being lazy, just doing nothing. Well, they're doing nothing, but they want to work. And what the landowner is doing is having compassion on them. His reason for going back again and again is because he cares for the dignity and the welfare of these workers. They are precious in his sight. He has compassion for them. Lots of people need to find God. But are we waiting for him? Those of us who know him, are we waiting for him day by day, hour by hour? Because he will surely come. And if we miss him the first time, he will return. That is what he is like. But are we waiting? Are we expecting to be employed by him? Are we ready to do what he asks? Or do we just slope off and say, oh, that's it for the day, I won't bother? Stay alert, stay awake, be ready for God's call, for he will come to us. Amen.